Hello and welcome back to Sonny Talks Spurs, and today we are talking about potential strikers that Tottenham could sign. Before we get into this one, if you are new around here, please leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on as well, and also get down in the comments and tell me how you would rank these Tottenham Hotspur potential striker replacements for Harry Kane. Now, let's get into the video. So I wanted to do a video about this due to a number of factors. Obviously, Harry Kane has long left us, we know. End of story. We've had enough of that one. And also, deadline day is fast approaching. It's next week. There's not many rumours. The rumours have quieted down on a lot of the players we have been linked to. And also, a lot of people are questioning one man who's currently leading our line. And that man is Richarlison. Is he good enough? Can he really cut it out as Harry Kane's replacement? So today, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to get a list of 10 strikers who are currently at the club, who we've been linked to in recent months, and sort of rank them, give them a score out of 10 to see, one, if they're good enough, two, could they actually lead the line and replace Harry Kane, and three, value for money. I think that's quite important as well in these factors, because you know what Tottenham are like. We like to get a good deal on our transfers, so I think you've got to take that into consideration. But now, let's get into the first player. So the first player I've put down on my list is Richarlison. And it's a tricky one. It is very tricky because there's a player there. We all know there is a player there with so much potential. But he hasn't had the best of time. Obviously came in for £60 million. Took the number 9 shirt. And was meant to replace Harry Kane. I feel like that was always going to happen, due to his age profile and Harry Kane's contract situation. So he's been chucked into a first team this season, and he's still adapting to it. In 2 games, he's had a few chances, but he hasn't really been able to implement himself on games as per se. So he's a hard one to score because I still back him and I still think he's going to have a good season, better than last season. But I have given him a score of 7 out of 10. And people might say that's quite generous, but I am hopeful that he is going to come good this season. But I feel like he could do with a backup striker to really help him and take some of the burden off. I also think it will help that we're going to spread goals around our team. We've had 4 different goal scorers, including an own goal, in our opening 2 fixtures. So yeah, I'm going to give Richarlison a 7 out of 10. I could have put 6, but I'm going to go with 7. So yeah, 7 out of 10. Next up, I've got Dane, Scarlett, obviously at the club as well. A very young and promising upcoming talent at the club. Obviously was on loan last season at Portsmouth. But I don't think he's ready yet. There is a rumour going around that he is not going to be loaned out this season due to the unavailability of Alejo Veliz. Ange just said that Alejo Veliz is also, he's new to the country, he's young, and has got to get up to speed with a lot of things. So we might as well rank these 2 at the same time, because I've got Alejo Veliz as well on my list as my 3rd striker. And similar, obviously, there's a lot of potential with Veliz, but again, these 2 players have got to be embedded in. It's hard for them to really be backup strikers at this current stage of time. But I think they will come good, and I think they'll be good options. But I've given them both a 3 out of 10 because also they're all a bit unknown quantities in the Premier League in their own system. So I think 3 out of 10 is about right. Could have pushed to 4, but I think I'll put 3 out of 10. So now we get into the rest of the list. So the next 6 are people we have been linked to heavily, some paper rumours, a bit like that. So to start off, I've gone with one of the obvious ones, Gift Orban. And I'd really like us to sign him. He would be a player I would be very keen to get. One of our top targets. We've been linked to him for a few months. He's one of these stat-based signings that Tottenham seem to be going down that avenue, which I'm all for, because, Brighton and Brentford have found it successful. But he's looked good in, the Europa League Conference, I think they were playing in last year, K.A.A. Gent. So he is a very good player. I think the price isn't too bad. Maybe I think it's like £30 million, 40 million euros, something along the lines. Don't quote me on that. I think he's got great potential. And what I like about him is he's versatile. He could probably play on either wing and he can play through the middle. I don't think he would necessarily start as soon as we signed him. I think he would be embedded into the team. It depends, but all these striker replacements depend on Richarlison, which is a situation in itself. But for gift or ban, I've given him a 7 out of 10 as well, because I feel like he is the same level probably as Richarlison, which is something in itself. But I think he would offer a lot. He's pacey, he can dribble. I just think he has got a lot of potential, and I'd love to see it. I'd just love us to sign a player from an unknown quantity, and he just hit the ground running and be fantastic. Number 5 on my list, I've got Romelu Lukaku. Now, I did a video on Romelu Lukaku, so after you've watched this video, go and watch that. I'm not going to go into too much detail on him, but I'll tell you now, I've done 0 out of 10. We shouldn't touch him with a barge pole. I'm going to end it there. Go watch the video afterwards. Now, next up, this one is quite tricky. I've got Brennan Johnson from Nottingham Forest. Again, I think he's got lots of potential. But the thing I'm thinking about is his Forest's priced asset. I think his dad played for the club as well, so he's got the links. And I think they're valuing him at like £50 million. And he's not really an out-and-out striker. I'd say he's more of a winger. So he is versatile in a sense. But has he really got the goal-scoring touch at the moment? I saw him against Arsenal. And, you know, I know strikers can do this. He chipped the ball when he should have maybe curled it around the keeper. Strikers do that all the time. But I don't know. There's something about Brennan Johnson. I've got a big question mark. I think because of Premier League tax and something like that. I've given him a 6 out of 10, only a little bit lower than gift or ban, because I think he's one of those players where I could think Ange could mould him into something fantastic. I have a lot of faith in Ange in that respect. But because of the Premier League tax, I can't put him much higher than that. I'll put him at a 6 out of 10. Number 7 on the list, I've got Jonathan David from Lille. Now, again, this is a trickier one. Similar to Johnson, a bit of one of those players where they look quite good, but we don't know if it's going to translate into a bigger team, because Lille, you know, Lille are a good team. Jonathan David hits good numbers, but again, Lille want a really big price for him, and Lille are so good at selling that, you know, they sold Nicolas Pepe to Arsenal for 72 million, so they're not gonna, you know, they'll want about 50 to 60 million, and I can't see Tottenham paying that for a target in that respect. I've given him a 6 out of 10 as well, because I'd like the move. That's the thing. I'd like most of these moves apart from Lukaku, but I don't know. I just can't see it happening in a respect, but I'd like to see it happen, if you get me. So, yeah, I'm going to put Jonathan David as a 6 out of 10. At number 8, I've got Mehdi Terami from Porto. Now, I think he'd be a good backup. He's not going to be a starter at all. You know, he's not the age profile of an Ange striker, but we've been linked to him as an option. But I'm not really sure about this one at all. Like, as I say, it's a bench option. We don't really need a bench option. I think we'd need someone who could come in and really fire us, you know, and potentially start and be an option. Terami wouldn't offer that, so I'd probably just give him a 4 out of 10. It's an option. The thing is, if we didn't have, say, a Dane, Scarlett or Veliz, I'd say get him plus one other, but we do, so I'd rather give a chance to a younger player who's currently at the club than bring him in, if you get what I'm saying. But yeah, so I'm going to give him, as I say, a 4 out of 10. Dusan Vlahovic now, and I think I've probably butchered his name there, which I can never say it right. But again, I'm not sold on him either. You know, he seems to be touted around every few seasons. He was at Fiorentina. He's always linked with Arsenal, Tottenham, Man United, Chelsea. But I just don't know, and I think he will demand a massive fee. I'm really not sold on him, and also I think, would he suit an Ange system? I can't really picture it. So he's a really tricky one. So I gave him a 5 out of 10 because, as I say, I'm not sold on it. I'm really, I don't know. I really was struggling what to think and say about Vlahovic, because with Serie A attackers as well, you just don't know what you're getting. You know, you're getting a Mo Salah, or are you getting Scamacca? It's just really hard to say what's going to come out of that league compared to some of the other leagues. So for him, as I say, I'm going to give him a 5 out of 10 because I'm really not sure what you would get. And lastly, now, this is dream territory. This is a striker we have been linked to, but he's been linked to another few other clubs. It's Ivan Toney. Now, I think he would be the perfect replacement for Harry Kane and profile. I think he'd be fantastic at the top of that pitch. He's good in so many areas, good at penalties, good at shooting, strong, good in the air, quick. There's a couple of issues, though. Obviously, he is banned until the new year, so that's an issue. He also went on the diary of a CEO and said how much he loves Arsenal, and he's a Liverpool fan, so that's obviously an issue. And he'll be a hot property after his ban. I think a lot of people are still looking for strikers. I'm thinking Chelsea, Arsenal as well. Gabriel Jesus hasn't really cut the mustard. So the thing is a price as well. I'm not really sure what sort of price he would demand. But I'd give him a 10 out of 10. I think you've got to go all guns blazing. If you could secure a deal now, that'd be perfect. But I don't think that's allowed under the rules. But in January, I'd probably go in for him. Maybe don't rush into anyone now. Maybe try and get a gift Orban. But if you want to try and get Ivan Toney as well, then I think that's an option. So it's an easy 10 out of 10. So those are my rankings and ratings for the strikers in my list. Let me know, is there any other strikers I missed out? Should I have done anyone else? Is there anyone who springs to mind as I'm saying this right now? And also, the strikers I named, please can you give me a rating out of 10 of how much you would like the signing for Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. Before I go, if you have enjoyed the video, please leave a like on it, subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell for every time I upload a Tottenham Hotspur video. And as I say, I'll see you soon on the next Sonny Talks Spurs video. Bye.